Some of that weather that has been occurring throughout the night really hit hard on this road. I want to get out of the way so you can get a sense of the situation. The Sheriff's Office partners with the Department of Homeland Security, flying high above, seeing what goes on down below. Thousands of drivers come down the Jefferson Street Bridge every day. They're used to construction projects going on there, and one just wrapped up last year, so they thought it was done. But when they came down the bridge this morning, they were greeted by these big road closed signs. A lot of times after an election, people talk about the first 100 days. What can people in Rockford expect? And really, in just the past hour, the amount of snow falling from the sky has really picked up. They'll put on this 80-pound bomb suit. It's very heavy, makes the officers very hot. The idea is you take one, you eat it, you keep walking along, and that's what we're going to do. This is what neighbors here at the intersection of Juniper Lane and Cadet Road woke up to in McChesney Park. Pools of water that come up at some places as high as your ankles. A big win for Tammy Duckworth, also a big win for the Democrats who want to retake control of the U.S. Senate. We may not be in Chicago, but we're here in Rockford at District Park, and I'll tell you what, the excitement, the crowd is just as big as it is over there. Well, I-39 has reopened in Rock County after a head-on collision kills one person and sends hazardous materials flowing onto the interstate. What's your favorite costume you've ever done?
Mine are usually sea-themed, so
yeah.
It's either pirate or mermaid.
All right.
What about you?
I tried the Reuben sandwich one year, but it's just really hard to do, you know?
That would be really tough to pull off.
One day after Christmas, the gifts under this tree remain unopened. The kids who were supposed to open them never got the chance.
Christmas is not always about what you're getting. It's about who's still there. And that really hit home this Christmas.
The family was supposed to join Letitia Montgomery and her family for Christmas, but the eve before, fire ripped through their home on Mulberry Street in Rockford.
You see that fire coming, so it's like, I gotta jump.
Jaleel Manyweather was inside the home early Saturday morning when he woke up to the sounds of screams.
Everybody get out, everybody get up. When I get up, I hit the smoke hit me. It was like an eye opener. I woke up, boom. Oh snap, what's going on?
Manyweather says he waded through the cloudy air, made it to a window, and then jumped out onto the roof.
I look back in, and I just see a hand going like this. So I grabbed the hand. Come on.
He says he pulled a child out of the house. With flames roaring towards them, they did what they had to and jumped from the roof. Both of them and 3 others survived. They were the lucky ones. Inside, 3 other children didn't make it.
For them to be gone just that fast, it's unreal. It's unbelievable.
Manyweather wasn't related to the kids, but he considered them family. It makes moving on all the more difficult.
I know they wouldn't want me down. I know they wouldn't want me depressed. I know they wouldn't want me crying, but it's just like, man, y'all gone. And I know I gotta keep it going, keep it moving.
Hard to do as they move into a new year, still seeing and feeling the reminders of lives lost too soon. Rockford Police Chief Dan O'Shea has a message for people committing violent crimes in the city.
I have no compassion for people who are shooting people randomly without any thought process at all. They need to go to prison.
But not as many people are going to prison as they used to. Arrests by Rockford police are down 58% from 12,515 in 2006 to 5,257 last year. And so far this year, arrests are on track to be around the same as 2015. O'Shea, who's been on the job around 8 months, says while he hasn't taken a close look at why the numbers are dropping, he says it doesn't mean police aren't doing their job.
We're trying not to just arrest people. That's not the solution in a lot of cases. So we're trying a lot of diversionary things.
He wants to help low-level offenders get on the right track so they don't become repeat offenders. O'Shea says another potential reason for the drop, calls for help are down. Former Police Chief Chet Epperson told us the same thing when we asked him about the drop in arrests last year.
We have less reported crime, we have less calls for service, and we have less arrests. We can't make arrests up.
O'Shea says he wants to focus on the type of arrest officers make.
I think the number of quality arrests need to go up. Particularly, I'm singling out violent crime. If we're not arresting everybody for a dime bag of weed, but we're taking off someone who's importing semi-trucks full of marijuana, that would be a quality arrest.
RPD is making some progress with felony arrests this year. They're up from 2015. Now, O'Shea says the focus is to restore a sense of safety in a city that's been gripped by violence.
It was a big black monster.
He thought it was going west and would miss his home. But as Clem Schultz turned his phone to video mode, he quickly realized the distant storm was no longer distant. It was roaring toward him, his home in its direct path.
I felt the house kind of shake, and the floor moved under my feet.
Clem was upstairs searching for a flashlight, courting the impending tornado. His wife, Jerry, was downstairs. Before he knew it, the EF4 tornado was circling overhead.
When I was under that rubble, after things quieted down, I asked myself, okay, Clem, are you dead? And I said, no, I hurt. You can't hurt when you're dead. And that's when I started trying to get out of the rubble.
He used a board to push off his belongings that were now drowning him. After a few minutes, he could see the sky, but also someone looking down.
There was somebody, I don't know who it was. He says, okay, now there's a beam sitting right here. Come sit on here and put your feet down on the hard floor, but don't look down. And I said, why don't look down? He says, because your wife is right under you and she's dead.
The two were nearing their 25th wedding anniversary.
I said to myself, well, everything is gone. My wife, my cars, my house, my everything I ever owned over 84 years.
Jerry wasn't the only life lost that night. The other was right next door.
As soon as I got the phone call from my friend who said a tornado hit Fairdale, I had this feeling that she was already gone.
Yvette Dues-Plier grew up in Fairdale. Her mother, Jackie, lived there more than 50 years.
It was so surreal because the whole town was just glowing with red and blue.
The town was unrecognizable. The gut feeling that Yvette first got about her mom never left. And then that nagging fear was confirmed.
It hurts. My mom's gone.
Already a fighter who took on stage 3 cancer and a stroke, her mom could not fend off the strength of Mother Nature. 2 victims, 2 different homes, both lost to nature that night, both leaving behind families with a pain that will never quite heal. But 1 year later, they managed to press on and find comfort from those around them.
They're a strong, close-knit people that a tornado is not going to break apart.
For your Digging Deeper station, Reuben Jones, 13 News.